Hey crypto friends, for those of you who are new to the channel, my name is Garrett and welcome to Altcoin Radar. Today we are going to be taking a look at the Celestia TIA charts and we're going to see where it might be headed, and we will cover both bullish and bearish scenarios as well, just to simply cover all of the possibilities. And towards the end of the video, I will go ahead and cover the overall macro structure of the overall altcoin market as well. Now, for those of you who love trading crypto and would like to try out the same crypto exchanges that I use on a regular basis, feel free to go ahead and try out either the MEXC exchange or the Blowfin exchange with the links in the video description down below this video. Now, the reasons why I love using these exchanges, first of all, I love using MEXC because they have some of the cheapest trading fees in the entire industry at just 0.01%, so you simply get to keep more of your profits. And the reason why I love Blowfin is because they allow anybody from anywhere to be able to sign up and trade crypto futures, and that means those of you who are from the United States who want to trade crypto futures, you can trade them right on here, which is very, very nice. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and take a look at TIA. So we've got TIA here on the daily, and what is so nice about this is, I mean, TIA has taken a giant slaughter, ever since we created this high here at $21.20, and it just dropped and dropped and dropped for months. Until we hit this bottom down here at $7.20, which is pretty interesting. I mean, it dropped all the way down to $7.20. Realistically, that's like an even dollar drop, which is pretty interesting to see. And we started going upwards and then coming back down, and we started consolidating within this area between 725 and 1241, which is very nice to see. So where are we headed? So here's the thing, you guys, all right? Obviously, I'm not a magician. I cannot see the future. Nobody can see the future. Nobody knows what's going to happen, but it's nice to see that TIA ended up coming out of this down slot here that we had recently within the past few days and started to rise up again today, which is very, very nice. It is so nice to see this breathing room, all right? So where do I see this going from here? Realistically, I'm not going to be insanely bullish on TIA until we can pass this level right in here. I will not be insanely bullish on it until we pass this $12.41 mark, all right? And the reason why is because this is the main high that we created after the very bottom low that we ended up creating down here in the middle of April, all right? So we need to break through this resistance right here, which when we do come to this resistance, I assume that we will end up kind of retracing back a little bit before we end up going back down. But the whole key here is to start creating new higher lows all the way up in a step-by-step fashion. So I want to see us go up to this resistance level here and then come back down to, I don't know, maybe around like right in here, which would be right in this midterm support range right here, and then have enough momentum to gain enough momentum to go back through and all the way up through that resistance area then, and then all the way up to maybe this around this level right here, which would be this midterm support range right in here, and then come back down to retest this new level of support at 1241, gain momentum again, and then go up to the next layer of resistance here, all right? And kind of repeat the whole process as we go up and up and up, all right? The whole goal here is to be creating new higher lows each and every time, which is what we want to see happening when we are in a healthy bull trend, all right? So that is personally what we want to see, and that's realistically what I see happening. It seems to me that because, we've had so long of a deep slaughter fest with Celestia, my assumption is that it will start gaining momentum again, and we will start to, start rising higher and higher and higher again, all right? But if that doesn't happen, if we get some kind of, if we get some kind of black swan event or something like that, or we end up, just some kind of black swan event that causes prices to plummet in pretty much all sectors here, what I could see happening realistically is, first of all, I find it hard to believe that it's going to go any lower than 725. I mean, that's just, it's already taken quite the beating all the way from $21.20 all the way down to 725. So I find it hard to believe that it'll drop further than that, but it definitely could happen, okay? But realistically, if it does end up dropping, I assume that it's going to hit these midterm support levels, right in here and right in here and, maybe right down in here and then maybe right down in here too. But I don't think it'll go further than these midterm support levels, okay? simply because realistically, like I was just talking about, I mean, we've been slaughtered quite a bit in the past few months, and I just can't see this coin dropping any further than this level right down here of 725. All right. Especially with how reputable this project is and how much support it currently has as well. It's just hard for me to believe that it'll go any lower than that. All right, so now that we've got support and resistance levels out of the way, let's go ahead and turn on some indicators and see what we got going on here. So when we got the indicators turned on, clearly you can see the 200 EMA right here. So that's the 200 EMA, and then this would be the 50-period EMA as well. I like to pay attention to both of these, typically both of these, simply because they are the most popular that most people use. And what I'm currently seeing here, which is very, very nice to see, is price only dropped to the 50-period EMA, which is very nice to see, and then it bounced right off of it and started going up again, and now it's literally riding up on the 100-period EMA right now, and it'd be nice for us to cross that and go all the way up to the 200-period. Overall here, though, to confirm a solid bullish uptrend, I will not feel solid on a solid bullish uptrend until price starts to trend above this 200 EMA here and continue higher and higher and higher, like I was talking about earlier. All right. Now, when we go ahead and turn that off and look at the Bollinger Bands, we can clearly see that we did end up coming down to the bottom band down here, and then ended up bouncing right off of it and going straight up, and it was really nice. But we ended up going way far outside of the band here, which caused us to, simply sell off and come back down into within the bands themselves. All right, and now we're starting to go up again, and I assume that the next bars, if things continue to stay bullish, I assume that the next bars will continue to follow the bands as they are expanding higher and higher, if this is a solid bullish continuation that we've got going on here or starting here. Now, if we go ahead and turn that off and go ahead and turn on the RSI and the stochastic RSI, we can clearly see that stochastic RSI is pretty overbought right now. But that doesn't really mean that it's going to necessarily drop big time or anything. It just simply means that momentum right now, or buying momentum, is pretty high right now, which is pretty nice to see. Now, the regular RSI, the standard RSI, it's at 60 right now, so it's not too far above neutral levels. So it definitely does still have some more room for growth, all right? And if that does end up happening, I assume once we end up hitting this level up here at $12.41, I assume that's going to be the level that the RSI will be in technical overbought territory. And it, like I was talking about before, it'll, bounce off of that back down and then, gain support somewhere down in here, and then have it gain momentum again to go up further and further. All right, that's pretty much what I was talking about here. So that's with all that considered, realistically, again, because of how much Celestia has dropped recently in the past few months, I just do not see it dropping past $7.25. I mean, it could happen, and again, I can't see the future, so I can't guarantee it, obviously, but we can only speculate, and we can clearly tell that this was a very, very strong turning point right here. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the overall market cap for altcoins in general. Now, for altcoins in general, it's pretty interesting here, all right? For altcoins in general, we're kind of trading within this rising wedge right here, which is a little concerning because, everybody knows with rising wedges, price technically tends to fall through rising wedges. I'm not saying that's going to happen here, but it's definitely a possibility, but it's all going to depend on how much momentum is coming through the market at this time. But what I realistically want to see happen here is I want to see more higher lows being created. We created the bottom down here. We created a higher low here. We created another higher low here, and I'm hoping that price, or that we end up creating another higher low right here, and we end up, price of altcoin market cap goes all the way to the top of this channel here once again, and then comes back down and does it all over again and just does it back and forth. All right, that's kind of what I'm hoping happens here. But eventually, what I really want to see happen is break out of this rising wedge and head towards this $764 billion level, because at that point in time, once we cross that range right there, we can be fully extremely bullish on altcoins. All right. So guys, let's see here. With that said, before I go ahead and wrap up this video, if you guys got some good value out of this and you enjoyed the video, please make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the like button below the video, and leave me a comment down below on your personal thoughts on where you think the price of Celestia is going to go in the short term. And for those of you who stuck around and watched this video throughout the whole thing, I really appreciate you guys, and thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in my future videos.